I am so sick of the market and like the current state of being really into Pokemon. I have loved Pokemon since I was like a baby. If I can find the picture of me, toddler, crawling to a little stuffed Squirtle in the year 2000, I would, but I have no idea where the photo is now, unfortunately. But I just love Pokemon so freaking much. Like, I love the games. I used to love watching the cartoon/anime as a kid. I saw the first 3 movies in the theater. Now I understand I wasn't even born when like the first movie came out, but I saw all 3 movies in theater because they re-released them at my local theater growing up. And I remember the 3rd movie being really creepy and weird for some reason. I have to go back and watch it. But like, and this isn't necessarily to be about the games, but this is way more just about like the cards right now, because I could do an entire like other video on how like Pokemon as a franchise has just changed so much, and it's a bit daunting to how it is now. But yeah, like the cards are so much fun. I've been collecting them, I would like to say, since like 2004, 2005, as I think when I had my first little batch of cards. And since I got with my fiancé, I started getting back into Pokemon again because I finally had someone that truly loved Pokemon as much as I did. And it's crazy to think about just how your hobbies change based on who you're around. Like, I always liked Pokemon, but like my friend, like a lot of my ex-friends, they weren't into it anymore. And so I wasn't into it anymore because I didn't have anyone to actually like talk about it or comment on it or trade cards with or anything. And like when I was a kid, I used to love playing the actual card game itself. But as I got older, I just like collecting the cards. I love the art of them. I love the look of them. I also like just seeing it, because a lot of the games, especially the modern games, they're a lot more sterile as to giving the Pokemon their own unique personalities. And I haven't seen the show since like when Black and White was out. So that's, that was like 14 years ago. So it was a long time ago now. And, it's so cool how like the cards have all these, unique personalities, and you see all these Pokemon like gathering around with each other. And you just don't really see that as much in the games. But I also haven't played any of the mainline games since Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I feel like this is turning into a different like just overall Pokemon video, but it's kind of funny. But yeah, like the cards are crazy expensive now. Funny enough though, my fiance and I figured out when the card guy from was it MJ Holder, is like the big company that actually like distributes all the Pokemon cards in the US. We figured out exactly when he shows up to our local Walmart, and we usually have to like go through a few people to like actually get stuff. We almost never get any of the new stuff. We get like back stuff. And because we have like a rural Walmart, we'll end up getting a lot of older sets from like sometimes even like 5 years ago. And that shit will actually be worth a bit of money. So sometimes I wish I could like stock up and then resell some cards just to make some extra dollars. But I also don't want to be like a scalper, And that's the other thing, is that the scalping shit is crazy. Like, I actually almost got into a fight with a person at Walmart because they were so fucking irate, and they were literally scalping. Like, they had shown up 3 weeks in a row. And bear in mind, they didn't even live in my area. They were driving hours away, hitting up every single Walmart and following the card guy to every single store and then buying them out. And here's the craziest thing is that this dude was in like his like early 60s. This was an older dude, And it's like I have no problems if like older people have, younger hobbies. There's nothing wrong with that. There really isn't. I don't care if someone in their 40s still likes Pokemon. It's more just about like what you're doing. Like, are you collecting stuff and like engaging positively with the community, or are you like a fucking scalper just trying to make a shit ton of money and like scamming kids and shit, and artificially changing prices to the market? Because it's the same thing with like retro video games. Like, I was really big growing up into older video games. I said this in the previous video, and the hobby is like way too expensive now. Like you could go to garage sales and you'd find like old Atari and NES games and like Super Nintendo games for like, you know, most time like a couple bucks. And yeah, there was always rare games that would always be like, you know, hundreds of dollars, but you know, an old game would never cost as much as a new game basically. And so it was easy. And the same thing goes with cards. Like I love going to like my local card shop. I'm hoping they're gonna stick around. Unfortunately, they're having like rent trouble, and it's really stupid. Like the person that they're leasing from is charging them like an insane rate. And it's funny, I told like my grandfather about it, and he was like, oh, you know, they gotta make, you know, X amount of money to do it. He was thinking that the rent for the little storefront, because it's not a very big storefront, the little storefront they have is like, I'd like to say maybe like 400 square feet or something like that total. It's not very big, and their rent is like $4,000 or $5,000 a month, which I live in a rural area of the country that's fairly cheap, like one of the last cheap places in the US to live, and that's like beyond egregious. So I'm hoping that they will find another place in town, because I really love them. They're really nice. And like, you want to go to like that kind of card shop versus like a card. Then this is the funny thing. You know, it's a good card shop when they don't have anything, because my girlfriend and I were traveling not too long ago. We went on a little vacation and we were like, oh, we want some Pokemon cards. Let's find like a little shop and like maybe get some singles. And this shop was packed with shit. Like there were ETBs everywhere. There was like boxes and boxes and boxes of cards. Like these were like legitimate scalpers. Their prices were pretty fair, so like we were willing to pay a little bit because we really wanted the new blazing black and white. Yeah, the new black and white cards that came out, and we actually did get some hits. Georgia ended up getting some really expensive cards. She ended up getting like a $50 card. Yeah, it's just like, it was crazy. Like, you knew these guys were scalpers because they had like 151, they had prismatic evolutions, they had all this shit. Poor Georgia was really sad because she really wanted to have prismatic evolutions. Like, we've never even opened like one pack before, so she bought 2 packs for $15 each, which definitely was a bit egregious, but you know, we had extra money. We knew we were gonna spend it there, so we're like, okay. And then we got the new poster collection for black and white that came out, and that was worth it. We actually hung up the posters in our house, so that was cool. But like, she ended up getting no hits, and I felt bad, and she was so sad, and I was like, well, maybe we won't get any more prismatic evolutions, because like $15 for, you know, like 10 cards each is ridiculous. And like, a lot of people say, oh, you know, you should just collect singles at that point, and they're totally right. Like, going back to our local card shop, like, they have a sign for their like bin, and they do like Magic and other stuff too, but like, I only go in there for Pokemon, and it's like a quarter each for a card. But I mean, if you get a lot of cards, like, I've walked out with like 200-300 cards, and I probably paid about like $10 or less, $5 maybe. And the funny thing is, there would be some older cards. Like, on occasion, I'd go through, like, I got a bunch of like really nice first editions from them. And that's the thing, like, you want to have a card shop like that. Like, even if you need to travel and you're like really into cards, go and find that local card shop where, you know, like, the one manager there literally told me one day, he's like, I sell you, you know, the cards for less strictly because I know you don't resell them. And I don't resell the cards I get there because I really like them. And I'm trying to collect most of my cards from my childhood, so this would be like basically the 2000s, pretty much the whole decade. And unfortunately, I had a really good binder, but there was some water damage, so I lost a lot of my cards. And then I still have a lot of them, and some of them are damaged, some of them are worn. I do have some rare cards as far as I know, but I still would like to like find them all. Like, I know there's some cards that are like hundreds of dollars that I desperately want. I shouldn't have them, but I do. And it's just, again, it's really crazy with how just like the market is now. Like, it's crazy that people are fucking still fighting each other over just getting some cards. Like, the cool thing is, like, outside of that one story of that guy at Walmart, I truly have only, like, the people are really nice at our Walmart. They'll, like, if you go up to one of them and you're like, hey, can you just grab me one? Like, I'm not trying to grab like 20-30 packs. I just want like one pack, you know, to open with my girlfriend, fiance, whatever. And they'll be like, oh yeah, sure, that's totally fine. And there's just, you know, a lot of them are really nice too. And it was really funny because this guy tried to get me kicked out of Walmart, this older guy from earlier, and it was just like he was fucking screaming at me. And again, I'm in my mid-20s, I'm 25. There is no reason for a guy to be screaming at me because he's trying to buy all the Pokemon cards. And like everybody else is in a nice orderly line, everyone's talking about like, oh, I hope, you know, he's got like an ETB, or I hope he's got some extra tins lying around, you know. Usually I'm there, I'm usually getting the small packs or like a tin, you know, or a Pokeball, you know. I'm never getting like that much. On occasion though, if I see something really cool, I'll go and get it. Like, it sucks to be like into this hobby, obviously. I have to work on my binder too. Like, and it's the thing, I don't just need one binder. I was literally telling Georgia literally today that I needed the fucking binder. Like, I needed like a pack of them because the back to school stuff is all coming into our Walmart now. So there's like, you can get like a 3-4 pack of like big heavy duty binders for like $3-4. And I'm like, I think I have to do my cards by type, because I think with Georgia, she doesn't have her cards from her childhood. She's got to like, we have to go like back across the country to go and like get a lot of her shit still. So like, she has a smaller collection, whereas I have like this massive collection. Like, I have thousands of cards like in total. And that doesn't include like my personal hobby of trying to make buttons out of like old Pokemon cards and stuff too. So, but oh my God, maybe I'll do like a part 2 on this, but I think I definitely yapped for a good solid amount of time. So if you guys liked this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.